Right now, somewhere, a pregnant woman is lying awake at midnight reading about everything that could go wrong. She has a tracking app, a 4-7-item registry, a birth plan document, and 3 different prenatal vitamin subscriptions. And she is exhausted before the baby has even arrived. When the grocery envelope was empty, she cooked from what was in the pantry. She did not borrow from another envelope. She did not swipe a card and deal with it later. The constraint was physical and final. This is what modern budgeting apps are trying to recreate, but the paper envelope worked because you could feel it getting thin. You cannot feel a credit card limit the same way, and the baby fund envelope started the week she found out she was pregnant. Small amounts, every week, for 9 months. By the due date, the hospital bill was covered. The layette was bought. The first months of extra expenses were absorbed. She did not go into debt to have a child. Today, that feels almost impossible. But the difference is not income. It is timing. She started 9 months early and she never stopped. She also borrowed without any shame. The bassinet came from her sister-in-law. The baby clothes came from a church sale. Passing things on was the system, not a sign of failure. Buying everything new, unused, and matching was not the standard. It was not even the goal. The goal was a baby who was warm, fed, and safe. Everything else was noise. Modern pregnancy nutrition is a full-time research project. DHA, folate, choline, iron, omega-3, the right brand, the right form, taken at the right time of day with or without food depending on which article you read last. Women are more informed than ever, and more anxious about food than at any point in history. A pregnant woman in 1950 had a short list: whole milk every day, eggs every morning, liver. Once a week, she didn't love it, but she ate it. For the iron, dark leafy greens, bone broth made from the chicken carcass that would otherwise be thrown away. Seasonal fruit, that was it. She did not research it. Her mother told her, and her mother's mother told her before that. The knowledge was inherited, not Googled. Here is the thing modern nutrition culture misses entirely. She ate the same things every week. Breakfast was the same. Lunch followed the same structure. Dinner rotated through 8 recipes. There were no decisions, no anxiety about whether she was getting enough of something. The repetition removed the mental load, and that mental quiet was itself a form of nourishment that no supplement has ever replicated. Even on the hard mornings, and there were hard mornings, she sat at the table and ate. Plain toast, a soft egg, weak tea. She had learned, probably from watching her own mother, that an empty stomach made everything worse, so she ate anyway. The habit was stronger than the symptom. Today, we call that evidence-based. In 1950, they just called it what you do. Most modern mornings start as a recovery operation. Last night's dishes are still in the sink. Someone can't find their shoes. Breakfast is whatever can be located in under 3 minutes. The day begins already behind. This is so normal now that we have stopped noticing it as a problem. A pregnant woman in 1950 was up before the household, not because she read a productivity book, because the morning had a sequence and the sequence required a head start. The first thing was the face. Cold water at the bathroom sink. Quick, simple, and deliberate. This was her signal to herself that the working day had begun. She dressed before anyone else came downstairs. Not for appearances. Because readiness was a decision she made before the day could make it for her. Before the neighborhood woke up, she walked. Around the block, sometimes 2. No fitness class, no gym membership, no tracker counting her steps. Just her body moving through quiet morning air. She credited this, practically, without ceremony, with keeping her back manageable, her legs from swelling badly, and her mind clear enough to handle whatever the day brought. Her prenatal exercise cost nothing and required no equipment. We replaced it with things that cost $50 a month and feel like obligations. The table was set before anyone sat at it, not after people arrived and started asking for things. Before, plates, cups, silverware, already in place. When the family came downstairs, the morning did not need to be organized on the spot because it had already been organized an hour earlier, quietly, by someone who had started before them. That single habit is the difference between a morning that runs and a morning that scrambles. She didn't have an app for any of this. She didn't have a course, a planner, or a podcast. She had a sequence, and she ran it every single day until it stopped being a decision and became just the way things were done. The envelope on the counter, the walk before sunrise, the table set before anyone sat at it, the baby clothes washed in the 5th month, not the 9th. Small things, done early, done consistently. That was the whole system. And the reason it worked then is the same reason it would work now, because none of it required anything except starting before you felt ready. If this resonated with you, subscribe before you go. There is so much more these women knew, and this channel is here to make sure it isn't forgotten.